Hey guys, this is the Rough Roads podcast. My name is Keith. I'm here with my buddy Cody. What's up, Cody?
Hey guys.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. How was your Mother's Day, Cody?
Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day was okay. It's another day for me. I'm a guy out in the middle of the desert, so my
Yeah,
grandma's gone in Salt Lake. I went and hung out with my grandpa though for a second. Yeah,
that's
that was
cool.
pretty cool.
What'd you guys do?
But
What'd you guys do?
uh, I he was actually making a pizza when I got there, like homemade pizza.
Hmm.
He's kind of bored without my grandma there, so I just went over there and I looked at his garden that he has and uh, moved out a planter for him, made some room for another little project he's gonna do. He's 89 years old, but he gets
Oh
it.
wow.
He's like he should have been an engineer in his life, but he wasn't. He's a really smart person, but he's on his way out. He kind of knows it, but he's
Yeah,
in good health. He's in real good health, though.
good, good. Well,
Yeah.
tonight we're gonna continue talking about relationships and friendships tonight for the third podcast in a row. And I was just gonna get started. Like the relationship that was important to me was my mom's former best friend. They kind of had a falling out, but her old best friend Liz had a son named Miles, and we were 2 years apart. And Miles and I were best friends since we were little kids, and we grew up together side by side. You know, we were good friends in college still, and um, you know, we were really good friends growing up because of the relationship that our moms had with each other. You know, and so that gave us the opportunity to be best friends and in us to grow together. Um, and so, but my mom and his mom had a falling out, and because of it, me and him don't really talk much anymore, which sucked. You know, we just kind of cut off communication because of what happened with our moms. You know, and so you know it sucks. I don't know really why that happened, why we lost touch because of it. Because we didn't have to lose touch, but just because of the relationship with our moms, falling apart. I don't know why ours had to fall apart too. But yeah. So that's kind of goes along with friendships. But yeah. So what did you have, Cody?
Uh, so just to kind of touch bases on yours, uh, I had a best friend like that, you know,
Yeah.
and it was my whole life, no matter if my mom was there or not. And the guy shot me in the back, so maybe it was a blessing in disguise, and maybe it wasn't. But like, never like, you know, like if you wanted it bad enough, you could have got it. Like, what is your mom doing to you? You know, is she gonna beat you, or is she gonna leave you, or is she not gonna love you if you're his friend? Like, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Not at all. Not at all.
And maybe if you know his name, like look him up on Facebook, bro. You know, like Adam. Like, what's up, hey? You know?
Well, also he got during this time he got married and had a kid and everything, so he's kind of doing that whole thing, and that changes everything too, because he was a social butterfly up in DC, always kind of like going out, being in the social scene and everything, and I grew up there and party with him and stuff, and now he doesn't do any of that anymore. He's married, has a baby, and not a baby anymore, probably 4 or 5 years old now. He's doing that whole
Yeah.
thing now. He's just kind
Yeah.
of
So it's
retired.
kind of like it's reminded me of like what I got with it is like how we age. Like we're just aging and we're getting older, and as we get older, we accumulate all these things, you know, and don't ever have time for the things that we used to have time for when we were younger because we were supposed
Mm-hmm.
to be learning that, you know. And so like when we're learning that and we're in that, we're not learning the other thing we're going to be learning when we're older, but we're
Mhm.
learning here. And then we go through the loop. It like, we'll say it goes like this and it goes through a vortex and we go through a little loop and then bam, and now we're
Mhm.
doing older shit. And then we
Yeah.
want to go back to like the old loop and we always miss it, like, oh, I miss it.
Yeah.
But I would put that on like along with drugs, kind of. You know what I mean? You got to learn to accept it and learn it and let it go, because if
Yeah.
not, you're always going to want to go back, and back is not where we want to go. If there was a way we can go forward, like pull it forward, like and throw it in front of us so we can go through it again, that would be good. But we
Yeah.
can't, and so we want to go back, and we can't go back. We're not supposed to go back. We're supposed to go forward. But if there was a way
Mhm.
we could throw that backness and forward us, and we went through it, yeah, it would work. But since we.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
But like
right.
it reminds me like of my friends. Like right now, like I have a friend I've had since like sixth, seventh grade. His name is Tyler, and
Mhm.
um, we've kind of had a few falling outs through our life, or not falling outs, but like discontacts and like reconnections, and it's always been like the same. But every time we reconnect, it's kind of like we go back to like the first time we connected. But now
Mhm.
it's like, and then now like, oh, but like we're getting so much older, and now he's like doing all this stuff, and I'm like trying to catch up in my life, and he's like way ahead doing other things, and I'm like doing all this. It's like we're still we still connect. It's just that we're in different spots. And I wish it wasn't like that, but I ain't gonna dwell on it.
Yeah.
That's what I got you for, and Daniel, and you guys are taking their spots of those people that I wish that were there. You know,
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for. That's
like
what
I
we're here
wish my
for.
sister was here. You know, but there's
Hmm.
all these people in the world that I know that even she knows or that nobody knows that remind me of her, that makes me have that feeling of, like it gives me enough of it to where like I wish I had a little bit more, but like at least I haven't forgotten. It's when
Hmm.
you forget is when the whole thing dies. It's like they die when they die, but they die when they're forgotten as well. You know, and that all has to do with relationships too, because the more and stronger relationships one person has, the longer they're gonna live even after they die. So I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about.
Yeah. I hear you. Any
And
relationship? Any relationships on your end you want to discuss?
so like I just talked about a few, but like
Yeah.
I've got like a relationship that like I have a my friend, but he's also like my boss almost, like my coworker.
Hmm.
I'm his right hand man pretty much, right?
Hmm.
Because he taught me, you know, and he's a good teacher and he's a good person and he's got a good family and he's had a good life. And like we have a good relationship because we're together. I'm with him more than I even ever see you or Daniel.
Hmm.
I'm with him and we're talking and we're, you know what I mean? And we're
Hmm.
getting it. And like we get mad, he gets mad, but we can always tell each other like straight up. Like we can even be pissed and be like, dude, do. But then it's like, that's it. And then we walk away and then we come back and we always fix that problem. And we try never to do that again, as long as no one else is pushing the buttons, but none of us try to push the buttons at all. And we work so fucking good, freaking good together that, like, it's a well-oiled machine. Like I don't have to be with them, but we run that shop so good. Like we don't even need to be together, and we're just like reading each other's minds. Like this kind of like a ball. Like it's
Hmm.
that's awesome, dude. And he's a really awesome person. And and he's got his own life, and it's like He grew up really good. Like he's a good like Mormon or a God bearing person. LDS
Yeah.
probably, right? And
Yeah.
and so is his family and his wife and his kid's probably gonna be and everything, right? But like when he comes with me, he doesn't have to like. He can kind of just, you know what I mean? Because I don't care what he does as long as they don't get hurt. You know what I mean? And no one's gonna beat him up or anything, or I'm not missing something. You know, he can do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? But if like, you know, like he can do whatever he wants, and he likes that. You know, he's like, I can come down here and be like, man, like, and I'm like, have you ever swore in front of your wife? He's like, never. He's like, nope. And I'm like, never? He's like, well, there's this one time that I put the baby down and she was in her bed, kind of by the door, and her sister came over and knocked, and he was like, damn. Or he said something like, crap or damn or shit, baby. I don't know what the word was, but he was like, oh, you know what I mean? And then like nobody said anything and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, when her sister left, she was like, did you swear? His wife was like, did you just swear at her? And he was like, I don't know when. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even know it, you know? But that goes to show, like, how much he loves what he does in his life, you know? But, like, I'm not saying that he's living a double life, but I'm just kind of saying, like, sometimes maybe I'm not that good of an influence, but I never try to steer him in the bad, and I don't want him to do bad. I'd rather him do good, you know. So, but like he can like let his like wings down, like okay, so like I'm okay, you know what I mean? Like kind of be loose around me. He likes that. But then when he goes home, it's like he's like, or I want to do this, but that's disrespectful because it's not even like that. It's like doing their own thing, you know. It's like maybe I should do this, angel wings, you know what I mean? Like. But that's cool, a relationship too. Like there's a bunch of different kinds of relationships you can have in this world that benefit you in a way. In some ways that you try to like change. In some ways it's just natural, you know. So it's 95 degrees here. Sorry, it's dark outside. It's 90 right now.
Yeah.
But there's another relationship. Like I love the hawk. I love the warm weather.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like to boil. But but I'll take that chance. Like 3 months out of the year, I'll boil just for the good weather all year. The other times of the year,
Yeah.
'cause I don't like to be walking around in snow up to my freaking ankles or neck either.
God, it was bad up here this year. It was really bad.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that, dude. I was
Yeah.
homeless for 5 years and I didn't go in the shelters. You know, I slept in the
Yeah.
snow, and I don't
Yeah.
ever want to do that again.
Yeah. No shit, dude. No shit. But but yeah, I mean, I guess like with me and another big relationship with me was my brother. You know, because me and him we were close, but I would say now we're closer than we were before. You know, because um me and him stopped talking like the rest of the family during my addiction, and when I got out of jail and everything and started drug court, you know, he had his arms wide open. You know, and he's been he's been so supportive with me and just everything I do. And um, I'm going to be seeing him in a couple weeks too when I go back home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm super excited, you know. And he came and visited me out here at the end of February. He was out here beginning of March,
Really?
and yeah, he came out here for a few days.
Oh,
We
cool, man.
we, we had a really good time. Me and him were really close.
I
So
remember seeing a few pictures of you guys together, like at the wedding
yeah,
or whatever. Remember? I don't know. You guys were all dressed up. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, that was good. I think so. But anyways, maybe we should get him on the podcast sometime. But that's awesome that you're going to see your brother, and that's cool that he came all the way out to see you.
Yeah, he
You
came out
know,
here. He went skiing one day, and the other day we just kind of went and just dicked around. He drove
what
by
does he
himself.
do for a living?
He owns part of his company, and it's called Corvus Janitorial, where they franchise cleaning companies and stuff. And like he's got like his biggest contract is the Archdiocese of New Orleans, where all the Catholic priests live and everything. And
Wow.
he does very well, very well.
Wow, dude. That's a
Yeah,
unique job.
he works very well though. He works very hard.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
bet.
but
Yeah.
he's done well for himself though. He's done very well. I'm proud of him.
Hell yeah. Or heck yeah, sorry. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. That's freaking awesome, man. And you're going right up there, just taking a different path, you know. He went the right way and you're going the wrong way, but you're gonna get there sooner or later. You know,
Yeah,
like that's how
yeah,
I
right
did
there.
it.
So hey,
That's
tell
how
tell us tell the story about what we talked about with the UPS box.
uh I was talking about relationships. Like it's hard to date. Like it's hard to date in my how old I am right now because everybody is either like they're either really sheltered, you know, and that's a rare one. You know, you might get a really sheltered, so, or you might get like one that has been married for a long time and has divorced, or you might get one that's just like cuckoo, like they're crazy and they've never ever had anything, or you might have one that's like, you know, it's like that's been beaten, you know, like they're all just screwed up, you know, like, and I'm not saying they're all are, but we're all being damaged as we come. You know, like as we get older, we're getting damaged in the dating world, anyways. We might be
Mm-hmm.
growing and getting bigger and stronger, but in the dating world, everybody's mind and everything's getting damaged, especially in 2020, fuck 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, especially the years to come. You know, because everybody's minds becoming tainted from the world, especially from the internet, that they're scared, you know, and they should be scared because look at the news these days, you know. That never happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you know.
Yep.
But so it's becoming scarce these days. And and I feel like I'm like the complete package, you know, like I've got my head on straight, you know, and I've got a car and I've got a job and I've got a future. But I feel like I like the UPS. Um, I feel like I've been damaged on the UPS. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but oh well. That was a really good part too. But
Like a damaged UPS box.
well, I feel like the full package that got damaged on the way here, you know, like on the shipping in the shipping process, I feel like, you know, like a
Yeah.
full package that got damaged in the shipping process. So you're like, oh my God, I got this bad ass thing. And then you get it. You're like, oh, it's kind of fucked up, but it will work. Fuck. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, oh
So
man.
so briefly, can you tell us about just just briefly like your relationship with your grandparents? Because I know you chose to live where you are just so you can be close to them.
Oh yeah. So my grandparents, I never really had a relationship with. I did. I had a relationship with them when I was young, both of them, when I was like 6 or 7 or 8, 9, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom died, or a little bit before my mom died. I started smoking weed, and I was doing other things, and I didn't really go over to my grandma's as much as I did. because that's what I used to like to do instead of smoke weed. I like to go to my grandma's house and hang out with her and do her, you know. But and then I stopped doing that, and then I went on doing all that, and then my mom died, and I went to live with my dad, and I never seen my grandma ever. And I went through all those years and never seen my grandma really. She was always kind of moving around, either from here to or out here to Salt Lake. Both of them. She was a snowbird all the time. And when I went to rehab, I told them I didn't have any family because I was on the streets for 5 years and I didn't know where all my family went, and I just thought it was easier to say I didn't have no family, you know. And so I told them I didn't have no family, and my grandma somehow looked me up. I don't know how she looked me up or who she heard it from, but she like showed up at Sea House, you know, and they're like, "Your grandma's here," and I'm like, "I don't have a grandma," you know. Well, that's my grandma, my mom's mom, you know. Like,
Oh, she just showed up. She just showed up to the house one day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And how it had been since you saw her?
How long? What?
Had it been since you saw her?
2012, probably.
Wow.
And it was like 2018. So, wow, 7 years, 8 years.
Wow.
Well, she's been looking for me supposedly, you know, and
Mm.
like I just been on the streets, and I didn't ever go to the shelters. Like I said, I was just like, I was a cubby hole, you know, like I had my cubby hole that I went to at night, you know, me and Dave, me and Dave would sleep together, like, you know, and then she kind of was like telling me because she used to be a sudsy. My grandma used to be a substance abuse counselor,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and she was telling me like she's like, yeah, this is easy, and you're gonna have to show yourself when you get out. That's the hard part. All this, and she'd give me a little bit of money, and she'd let me call her if I needed to, you know. And so it started building a relationship right there, really. But we actually kind of just left off where where we began where we left off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, I'm her little Cody still right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And but my grandpa, he's not my real grandpa. He's actually my grandma's been married to him for like 31 years or something like that. But he's my grandpa. He's the only one I've ever known, you know? So I call him my grandpa. My rest of my cousins call him Berlin. But me, I call him grandpa because he's only been my grandpa. Like, you know, I've always only called him grandpa. So why would I call him Berlin, you know? But he accepts that I'm his grandchild too. He's like, that's my grandchild, you know? And he's got a few kids that aren't even his that are his that he does claim as his, you know, and now he's got a grandchild. It's me. And we're really close, like real close, you know. My grandma she just thinks the world of me, you know, and my grandpa does too. And we do things a lot. We go out to eat and we go thrift shopping, and we do a lot of things that we can do out here in the middle of the desert together. And I try to get them out of the house, and they are getting older, so I kind of do need to like jolt them, like let's go, you know. But they're okay. And then lately, I've been kind of getting busy, but now I'm kind of slowing down, so I'll be over there more.
Mm-hmm.
But I love them to the death, and they've actually helped me with a lot of things, like throughout my like getting started, kind of like support and housing. They like housed me at their house, and then they helped me with this trailer, kind of, you know, like, but I still had to pay it off, but they helped me get it, you know, and just God blessing in skies. Like my mom, you know, my mom died, and I feel like I talked to her a lot. And and then my grandma like treats me like her kid, you know, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have like that circle. Remember that circle they were talking about? You need to get that relationship of people around you. Remember in rehab?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I thought they were talking about like friends really, but it's more than friends. You need to get that relationship of good people that is pretty much like right there next to family, even more than friends. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like because I have a lot of friends. I can call a lot of people that will claim they're my friend, you know, but there's only a few that I can really, you know. So like, but and family, and it's everybody. Even if you don't talk to them all the time, it's people that you love. It's that circle is people you love, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of people like, oh yeah, I got this badass gangster over here, and I got this guy over here, there's this guy, and this guy, this guy, and this guy. And they're like, yeah, but like
I got the homie over here, you know?
yeah. Like it's like someone that will like, oh, I got this guy right here that'll answer my phone call day and night, you know, or I got this guy right here that'll talk about me about anything. Or I got this guy right here that will fucking like let me live in his house if I fucking crash or got burned. And I got this guy right here that fucking like, you know what I mean? That's the kind of people you need to be hanging around with, like people that like benefit you, you know. But you also got to step out of the box and benefit them somehow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that's how relationships go. You can't have a relationship with just one side because then it's not a relationship. It's a slave, you know, or something, or however you say it. You know?
Yep. I hear you, man. Well, that about does it. So, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, just rough_Rhodes.
Yep, rough
Podcast.
at rough_Rhodes for Twitter at rough_Rhodes. You can find all of our content right there. So,
Thank you guys.
Thanks for joining us, and happy Mother's Day. We'll see you next time.
Happy Mother's Day. Bye.